Let's learn some basics about adding strokes or borders to layers in the layers palette. I have here just a plain box that could be representative of a photo. First, what I like to do before I add a border, although it's not imperative that you do it, I just find it easier to do it, is to choose the color of my border in the foreground color. I like to use my eyedropper tool to get a color out of the photo. However, there's really no color here. I'm just using a box as an example. So I'm going to double click on the foreground color and choose an orange color. That way it will be easily visible when I apply it for the purposes of this tutorial. To put a border around my rectangle here, I'm going to go to the Edit drop-down menu, Stroke, and you'll see my foreground color is the chosen color here. I could click on this and open it up and change that color if I would like. Often I just pick it before I apply the stroke. You can change the width of the stroke. A smaller width, a smaller number in this width box is going to make a thinner line. A larger number is going to make a fatter line. It all depends on what you're looking for and what you want for your purposes. I'm going to go ahead and leave this at 10, and I'm going to put my border on the outside of my green box. If you center it, it's going to go centered part on the outside and part on the inside, and if you choose the inside as the location, it's going to go inside the green box. So most often I don't like to cut off my pictures by putting it inside the box, and so outside is a good basic setting that's used very often. As far as blending mode, I'll show you later how you can play with all the blending modes. For the basic use, you would want one normal, and you'd also want 100% in the opacity, and just click OK. And you can see there that I have a thin orange border around my box. I'm going to hit the undo button. There are a lot of other fun things that you can do with the stroke tool. If you put the border on its own layer, there are a lot of other things that you can fun things that you can do with that stroke. So I clicked here on Create a New Layer icon, and I now have a new layer above my box, and this time I need to make a selection of my box before I apply that border. So I'm going to hold down the Control key and click here on my box layer, and now you can see I've got marching ants out here around my box. My new layer, which is currently blank, is still my active layer, so that's important because we want the stroke to go on the new layer. And I'm going to go on up here, and this time I'm going to make my stroke a little bit larger. Let's try 15 pixels on the outside, just so we can see it a little bit better for the purposes of this tutorial. I like having thin borders most often. I want to hit Control D to deselect, and now you can see there's a border around my box. If I make my box invisible, you can see that the border exists by itself. that is one way you can use other things as templates just to create lines. You can now apply a drop shadow to the border and it looks like a frame. I can move this border layer below the box layer, with the box layer still representing my photo, and you can see now it looks more like a mat. I can move it back and I can apply a variety of layer styles. Let's go down here to the Wow Chrome layer styles, and I'm going to apply this one to that layer, and now you can see I have a metal frame around my box. I've got a photo here that I have brought in to show you one more fun thing that you can do with these borders. If you go to the Edit drop-down menu and open up the border stroke tutorial, or I'm not talking very well tonight. I type better than I talk, and these videos are actually difficult for me. This time I'm going to choose Inside, and I'm going to choose a new blending mode of a soft light and apply that to the photo. And I'm going to zoom in, and you can see here that because I applied the blending mode, you can still see through the photo and see the trees through the border, and the border is inside, and so it's on top of the photo. And so if I would have chosen maybe a different color border, I can even go and make this one a little bit larger to make it I'm just adding on top of the one that's already there. When you add on top of other borders, it also creates some really unique effects. So you can see how that looks right there on top of the trees. If I would have added this in maybe a black or a white, I'm just using orange so that you can see the drastic changes. If I would have added a black or a white border or another color, it's going to give even a different effect to the photo. But this can create some really artistic layouts by adding borders this way. And I hope you've learned a lot today. And if you want to practice with this tutorial and share your results in the thread in the forum, I would love to see what you have done and what you have learned. So I look forward to hearing from you more, and have a wonderful day.